Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today I want to share with you my royal icing recipe and some helpful tips. You're gonna need meringue powder, powdered sugar, vanilla extract, and warm water. I'm gonna start by adding 300 grams or 2.5 cups of powdered sugar in the bowl of my stand mixer. I'm also going to add 18 grams or 1 tablespoon plus 2 teaspoons of meringue powder, and I'm going to put my paddle attachment and I'm gonna mix this on low for 30 seconds. This is gonna help to break up any lumps that might be in the powdered sugar, and it's also going to evenly mix the meringue powder. Once the powders are well mixed, I'm going to add 1 teaspoon of flavoring extract. In this case, I'm using regular vanilla, but you can also use clear vanilla, almond, lemon, or whichever flavor you like. And to this, I'm also going to add 1/4 cup of warm water. I recommend you add the water slowly, maybe add 1/8 of a cup, and let it mix at medium speed. You can use the paddle or the whisk attachment and let that water be absorbed by the powdered sugar and see where you are on consistency. Sometimes if you are in a humid climate, you may not need a full 1/4 cup, but if you live in a dry environment, you may need a little bit more. So just add a little bit at a time until you reach the consistency you like. Let it mix for 5 minutes at medium-high speed. You can use the paddle or the whisk attachment. The icing right now looks kind of beige, but that's because I used the regular vanilla. But it's going to lighten up in color and it's going to double in volume, as you can see. But if you want to get a really white icing, you can use clear extract or add a drop of blue food coloring to this and it will look really bright white. So after 5 minutes with 1/4 cup of water, this is the consistency I have. The icing is a stiff peaks, which means it holds its shape. And I like to keep it this way before I mix in the color. That way I can have outline consistency and then thin it out for flooding consistency. So I'm going to transfer this into a glass container and let it sit for about 30 minutes so that all the air bubbles pop. You can lightly tap it on the counter and then cover it with a damp paper towel so that it doesn't dry out. After 30 minutes, the icing has had a chance to set. All the air bubbles have popped. So now it looks more creamy. So I'm gonna take some of that, transfer it to a separate container and get mixing on the color. This batch of icing will be good to ice about 24 medium cookies. To color my icing, I like to use these gel colors. They're Wilton brand. They come with 12 different colors and they're very concentrated, so I only need a little bit for each batch. I'm gonna make pink icing, so this is the one I'm going to use. I'm going to use a toothpick to add a little bit at a time. It's better to start with just a little bit since the color is very concentrated, and then you add more color if you need to. I am also going to start thinning out the icing with some water, so I like to use a dropper and filtered water, and I'm slowly adding a few drops at a time until I get to the correct consistency. To avoid cross-contamination with the food coloring, I like to keep a damp paper towel and I wipe my toothpick after each food coloring addition. You can also use a new toothpick each time you add additional food coloring. I'm going to repeat the process until I reach my desired shade of pink. Now I'm just adjusting the consistency, so I'm slowly adding water and constantly mixing and checking. I personally like to have the same consistency for outlining and flooding, so I like to keep my icing at what I call the 20-second consistency. It flows, but it's stiff enough that it doesn't run out of the cookie if I go too close to the border. So right here I am at about 25-second consistency. If you're looking for outlining consistency, this will be perfect. And then if you like to achieve flooding consistency, which is a little bit more flowy, is about 10 seconds, just continue adding water until you get to the consistency of liquid yogurt. So now I reach my desired consistency. I'm going to let that sit for about 5 minutes. I'm going to cover with a damp paper towel and then transfer it to my piping bag. Now I like to share another tip when the icing has been sitting too long and has separated. So this icing is a week old. I have kept it in the fridge. And so it has a tendency to split. So it just needs to be reconstituted. So basically you just need to mix again until everything is evenly mixed. You can add a few drops of water if needed. But once it's mixed together, you can use, like I'm doing, a spoon. You can do it in the mixer if you have a bigger batch. And in just a few seconds, you will get that creamy and smooth texture like the one that is freshly mixed. So now you can see the consistency of it is all smooth and nice, and there is no liquid at the bottom of this container. Another tip that I would like to share with you is when you want to mix very vibrant or dark colors. I have been using this set of colors I got on Amazon, and they're also gel food coloring. But they come in more vibrant colors. For this shade I use red and a little bit of brown, and right now it looks more like coral, but that is normal. The color needs time to develop and become that deep and vibrant color. So after I let this sit for about 24 hours, it became this rich red that I was able to use for my Valentine's cookies. So that's my biggest tip. Do not add too much food coloring at once, but rather add some, let it be close to the shade you like, and then let that sit for at least 12 hours. Let the colors develop, and then you can decide if you want to add more. Sometimes when you add too much food coloring, it alters the taste of the royal icing to an unpleasant one. So there you go, guys. I hope this video was helpful to you. Please let me know if I missed anything or if you have additional questions, and I'll be happy to answer them for you. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope to see you in my next video. Bye!